It's been a while. First I just wanted to say hello to all you new beautiful subscribers out there. I see you. I also wanted to say that generally I have been trying to post... Hey, get down! Get down! I have been trying to post videos on Wednesday, Friday, and then sometimes Sunday if I could get around to it. But this week I had some dental work and it left me decapitated? No. Incapacitated for a few days. So this video will go up on Friday. But hey, my podcast is out today too. So I'll leave a link below and you can listen to the new story on my podcast. It's not bloody or gory, but you can listen to it if you would like. And if you are tired of hearing me talk about my podcast, I'm sorry. But I'm really excited about it. It's really the first time. I've been published in a few other places, but it's the first time that I've really been putting my work out there for other people to listen to and hopefully enjoy. So I'm really excited about it. That being said, I have a giant book haul. I have a problem. It's a problem, but a good problem. I can't stop buying books. I mean, I guess I could have worse problems, but I have a lot of new books today. Half of them are horror and a few of them are not. Half of them. Most of them are horror, a few of them are not. I don't know that I'll go through all of them because I have a giant pile here and then all of these are new as well. So I don't know if I'll tell you every single book I bought or if I'll just give you a few. I don't really know. But let's begin. Sorry, I have something in my eye. Most of these aren't like Stephen King type horror books. I think I mentioned this in a video before. We decided for our wedding, me and my fiance, that these centerpieces were going to be novels and we wanted like older type of books, but we compromised because he didn't want our wedding to be horror themed, so we compromised and we will have the rehearsal dinner be horror themed. So I think a lot of these books are going to be for the rehearsal dinner and we'll probably decorate with those. Let me just get situated, and by the way, these are all on a box of Christmas ornaments, so I'm probably ruining Christmas for next year, but that's okay. Alright, so a lot of these are mainly books about movies. So let's start with the books that I have the most of. I have a bunch of Boris Karloff books. So this one is Karloff, The Man, the Monster, the Movies, and it talks about like when certain things were released and the description of the films. So that's really cool. I also have Boris Karloff, The Franken-Science Monster. And again, I think this just talks more about the movies. This also has pictures in it as well. Oh my god, these smell like old yearbooks. Smells so good. Am I the only one that smells old books? Then I have Karloff and Company, the horror film. This one's really cool because it has like a ton of pictures in it from different movies that Boris Karloff has been in. One of these books had a advertisement for a cigarette company, and I thought that was the strangest thing. I'm not lying. It's in here somewhere. And then I have Boris Karloff and his films. So my best friend actually picked these all up. I don't know if it was at a garage sale or if it was online or what, but she was like, oh, my friend, I know she's collecting like older books. Let me just buy them all for her. So she did, and luckily she did because these are really awesome. And the last Boris Karloff book that I have is Horror Man. Again, it talks about different films that he's been in. So those are really awesome. The next ones are pretty similar too. Like this one is The Reality of Terror. Again, it just talks about different films. This one has the films like Cat People, I Walk with the Zombie, The Ghost Ship, Isle of the Dead, The Body Snatchers. So all movies in the 40s and early 50s. So that's really cool and I'm super excited to read that, and my cat's standing right there. So if you see her or if you're a little wobbly, that's why. Marilla! Next up we have the Vampire Cinema. So this one talks about the universal vampire, the origins of vampire, the British vampire, the sex vampire, the new American vampire, the Latin vampire, and it has, oh my god, this one smells like chemicals. That's weird. This one just has a bunch of really awesome pictures and again descriptions of movies. I think it's really cool that it talks about the origin of vampires too, and hopefully, oh, that is a look at a little Nosferatu up in there. The next we have The Dead That Walk. We have Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy, and other favorite movie monsters. This is more of a variety, gives you more of a variety about different monsters in movies. This one includes a lot of really cool pictures too. Alright, we have The Search of Frankenstein. Open up. Table of contents. Yeah, so this actually has a lot of history in it, which is really cool. So it talks about a bunch of, gives a bunch of history and then different dates and locations, and then it goes into like Frankenstein, Mary Shelley, the Gothic novel, and the Frankenstein films. So this one will probably be one that I gravitate towards first. So that's awesome. Next we have A Dream of Dracula, In Search of the Living Dead. Again, I think this one has, because it says from ancient Egypt to contemporary America, so I think this has a lot of history about vampires as well, which is really cool. Okay, this one caught my eye because it has Nosferatu on the cover, but it says In Search of Dracula, History of Dracula and Vampire Legends. So this one might be another one that I go to first. I really like hearing about the history that inspired things, and I think it's really interesting, and maybe I can read them and make a video on the different things that I learned. So that's really awesome as well. And then last up we have The Horror People. So this one just has a bunch of people that were in horror films, and you know, like Boris Karloff, and it's got a ton of list of people. It's got a list of a ton of people, and then pictures of different movies that they've been in. And this one goes into more detail about each one, and I believe it is by individual. Yeah, so if you want to be like, oh, I want to learn about Vincent Price, then you go to page 9. Let's go to page 9. I love Vincent Price. Oh my god, I just saw this picture and it just brought me back to my childhood watching this. This scene right here with the little girl and the monster. Do you remember this film? Wow, that was such a weird flashback for my childhood. Okay, my camera's about to die and I also have a really bad headache. So excuse me if this video is pretty short, but I did want to just tell you the other items that I picked up, and yes, there are a lot of them because I have a problem. So like I was saying before, we're using a lot of older books for our centerpieces for our wedding because we're trying to do kind of like a gothic-y theme, but I don't know, we might have elements of like old Victorian era in there because it's at a Victorian house. So we got this book of ghost stories, and it's from 1919, and it's just a book of short stories, but it's just really awesome. So these we got mainly for the centerpieces at our wedding, but also I only got books that I wanted. This one isn't for the centerpiece, but I just thought it was really awesome. This is a Nancy Drew book, and it's so old. So this is copyright 1941. I just thought that was really neat to have, you know, a 1940s copy of Nancy Drew. Next up we have, so these are just essays and poems. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I bought this because the first one is John Milton. I'm obsessed with John Milton. But it has like Lord Byron, it has John Milton, it has Samuel Johnson, it's got a ton of people, and they're just different essays from each one, so that's really awesome. Next up we have Origin of Species from Darwin. I just thought this was really neat. I thought it would look cool, but I also thought it would be interesting to read. This one we have John Steinbeck. It is The Winter of Our Discontent. We have The Renaissance in Italy. Again, I thought this would be just a really cool piece to have displayed, but also interesting to read. I think there's some poetry and history in here and just some really incredible stuff. This one I got because it's Sophocles and Euripides, but it also has other people as well. This one's not too old, but it's really pretty. And as you know, I'm a little bit obsessed with Greek mythology. I think I mention it all the time, but I just read Sophocles' Oedipus Rex. Is that what I read? Oh, fuck. Yeah, okay, so I just read Sophocles' Oedipus Rex. Oh, so good. It's so amazing. So I got this for Euripides and Sophocles as well. Am I talking too fast? I don't know. I also got Kurt Vonnegut. Is that how you say his name? Vonnegut? Vonnegut? Cat's Cradle, because I read Slaughterhouse-Five this year and holy shit, that book is so fucking fantastic. I also got a Charles Dickens book, Great Expectations. This book was $3. Hello. I then got Flannery O'Connor. This book was $5. But every time I go to the store, I always see this and I'm like, oh, I need this book. But I've never bought it. There's a lot of she writes short stories. They're really interesting reads, and I really enjoyed what I did read from her, so I wanted a whole Flannery O'Connor anthology. I got a complete short stories of Ernest Hemingway. The next one that I bought, this was the last one, was it. This one was $6, and although the cover is really, really, really battered, It is a hardback and I can always just take the cover off if I wanted to, and the actual book is completely fine. It looks like new on the inside. $6, what a steal. And plus all of my, like most of my Stephen King books are books that I've had since the 90s. So like they're pretty worn and tattered. So I really don't mind that this one's battered at all. I've been wanting to buy it for a while. I had a copy and it got destroyed. I think it got ripped in half or something. I moved 6 times in 5 years. So lugging books back and forth, back and forth. 1, I lost a ton of books, and 2, a lot of them didn't survive the move. So that was one that didn't. And I read this, probably the last time I read this was like high school, maybe even junior high school. So it's been a really long time. So I'm really interested to revisit it and see if I enjoyed it as much as I did when I was younger. Ooh, okay. Sorry if I was just yelling book names at you for the past 10 minutes. I just wanted to give you a little idea of what I got. I'm really excited for all of these horror books because I think they'll be good reads during October, during fall. And I'm also really excited about some of these anthology copies that I got. And then of course I love all of my books from the 1900s because I just think they're so beautiful and they smell so good. Does anybody love the smell of old books? Oh, they're amazing. But I'm sorry if this video was short and to the point, and I'm sorry I didn't upload on Wednesday, but like I said, I'm trying to get more into a consistent schedule. I'm just having a little bit of a hard time planning ahead because I'm a lazy piece of crap. But I'm working hard on it. And other than that, I think that's about it. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much for joining my channel. I really look forward to seeing all of you here. Goodbye.